My friends, today we're gonna do something special. Something that very few people are qualified to do, but I, myself, feel particularly qualified. Today, we are going to compare. We are going to witness a showdown between the two Bryson brothers. I know there's a third brother as well, but he's the younger brother. We're looking at the older brothers. Bryson's best brothers battle between the bully brother versus the pyromaniac brother. We've determined there's not a whole lot of normal in this family, but that's okay, because I'm not normal either. But who is more evil? Which one of these brothers causes more chaos? I will be keeping score. I will be jotting things down. Brayden, hopefully I'm spelling it right. If I'm spelling it wrong, then I lose all credibility. Brayden versus Brody. We are going to start with Brody. I should also clarify, I've met both of these people, okay? So I already have my preconceived notions in my head, but I want to give a fair assessment. We're gonna start with Brody, the pyromaniac brother himself. The review starts now!
Haminations Brothers Brody edition.
Hi, welcome to Bryson's cooking show. Today we are cooking cereal. First add cereal, then— But Bryson, what if I like pouring the milk first? As I was saying, first add cereal, then milk, and voila, we've got cereal.
Oh no.
What?
But the cereal is now fire.
Wait, no.
Because of one man.
The gates of hell to receive thy soul. Now submit thyself to unending torment.
No, please, I'm a good boy. Oh no.
Okay, that person is into the fire, but that's not, that's not his brother, just so you know. But maybe, hey, maybe there's some subliminal messaging. Maybe we are seeing what Bryson truly thinks about his brother Brody through the side gags that he chooses to put in his video. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna write that down. Brody, comparisons to Satan.
Oh, please save me.
He only didn't give him enough treats! He's not gonna save you, bro. Yay!
Hi, I'm Bryson, and I once started a grease fire in my house. And believe it or not, this is not the first fire that the Haminations family has endured.
Not surprised.
Let me start at the beginning. Now, almost all these stories revolve around one sibling, the pyromaniac of the family, my oldest brother, Brody. Now, before I decimate my brother's reputation, slander his name permanently, and ensure that he's never allowed within 500 feet of a lighter ever again, let me just preface with this. I love you, Brody. Our journey begins when Brody was 3 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday.
No, you don't.
Except I wasn't even born yet. My family was visiting our grandparents and uncles, and my Uncle Mark decided to have some bonding time with Brody. It remains a mystery to this day what Uncle Mark was thinking, but he decided to teach Brody how to use a lighter and how to lock doors. Two essential skills for any 3-year-old, obviously. In one fell swoop, this knowledge transformed Brody from a harmless toddler to a dangerous fire hazard capable of burning the house down. Brody put his knowledge to use immediately. He locked himself in Grandma's room, hid under the bed, and started melting
the combination of these two skills.
The bottom of the bed began to burn, and the wax started melting down onto the carpet.
See, if the uncle only taught him one of those two skills, we'd still have a house today. Just kidding, he doesn't burn the entire house on fire. Okay, for Brody, for the comparisons to Satan, I'm just gonna put X's and check marks as to how many points each thing is worth, okay? So for comparisons to Satan, that's gonna be 2 X's. And then for combining 2 new skills maliciously, that's just gonna get 1. I mean, Satan's hard to top so far.
The bottom of the bed began to burn, and the wax started melting down onto the carpet. The family smelled the smoke and ran around the house looking for Brody.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
There could only be one person! There could only be one person!
Stay
But the door was locked. When they finally got in, they saw
dingus.
Brody with a lighter in hand, standing next to a burning bed. They put the fire out quickly as Brody watched. Even though I wasn't there, I can
Not a
imagine
thought
Brody
in
grinning
his
to himself,
mind.
because born inside him at that moment was a flame
Was a
that would
phoenix.
never go out. This was the beginning of a lifetime
The flame of the
pyromania.
phoenix.
My parents were rightfully mad at Uncle Mark, and years later they got back at him. Uncle Mark.
Hey, you.
Mark's son was very young, and my parents were visiting. Hey, little guy, come here. I'm gonna teach you how to use a lighter.
Aha!
No!
See how you like it?
No! No!
Skip it up and down.
See how you
Your
like
family have
it,
a
Uncle?
pyromaniac, or are you normal?
My main goal
Is to blow up. My mango is to blow up. Dude, when my mango blows up, I can't even tell you how much that bothers me. There's nothing that bothers me more than when my mango is to blow up. What do you think of when a mango blows up?
Delicious.
Delicious, it tastes good. What if my mango was to blow up?
What if your main goal was to blow up?
Oh, I thought you were talking about his mango. No, I'm just kidding. I know the clip. I know the Riff Raff clip. Come on. I was a Riff Raff fan. Like,
Riff Raff.
exactly. Casual. Riff Raff is the person who says that line.
My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
Act like I don't know no man. Oh yeah, anyways, that should probably be written down actually. Main goal is to blow up. That's his main goal. So honestly, I think that gives you 3 X's. If that's his main goal. All right, let's continue.
My main goal is to blow up.
The next incident happened 1 year later. Brody was 4, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
Okay.
Except I was still not born.
What?
Mom was outside
Be
the house
born
talking
already,
to a friend,
Bryson.
and Brody was inside unattended. He decided that he wanted a hot dog. He had seen our parents
a
use the
fire
microwave
dog.
before and thought, oh, I just need to put it in the microwave,
aluminum
hit a
foil.
couple buttons, and hit start.
Yup.
So that's exactly what he did.
Yup.
But he unknowingly
Oh,
set
no.
it to over an hour.
An hour?
A while later, Mom's friend noticed smoke coming out of the windows in the house. Mom ran inside
hot
in a
dog
panic
is
and
too
found Brody with
cooked.
his hot dog. I tried to make a hot dog, but all I got was a piece of poop. The hot dog was reduced to a flaming carbon crisp, burnt to the very core. And that's how my family
Carbon
house
crisp.
almost got burnt down by a hot dog.
All right.
Then the next year, when Brody was 5, he got glasses. This time I remember it clearly. Except I still hadn't been born yet. Once again, he was left unattended in the kitchen. Brody found a lighter, sat on the counter, and began
Stop
lighting it
leaving
over
the
and
lighters
over.
around the
You know,
man, the
for
boy.
entertainment. Then he thought, I wonder if my glasses are fireproof. He slowly began to raise the lighter closer and closer to his face. And the lens cracked. Mom? What? What was that noise? Did
He
you break
is
your
lucky
glasses?
that it didn't go into his eye.
Yes.
¿A quién le estás diciendo charapo? ¿A quién le estás diciendo charapo?
And that's just the
Valid.
tip of the iceberg.
Just kidding. I don't condone. RobertIDK does not condone violence in any form, unless it's professional in a octagon or a ring or whatever. Whatever. You know. All right. Some other things need to be brought up here. Fire to own eye. I would say that shows more stupidity than evil. So I'm actually gonna give him 2 check marks for this because that right there is just. It shows that it's stupidity, and maybe it's not all evil, it's just stupidity, you know? I think that actually happens a lot in our society, more than we realize. Not always evil, could just be stupid, you know?
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, or fireberg. Brody, in his teenage and adult life, has regularly set paper towels on fire on the counter, started fires outside for no reason, and put tin
Just
foil
for
in the
fun?
microwave. I'm not even joking. Hey, Brody, what are you cooking? And when Brody was
This was
6,
his
he
main
had to
goal.
be held on a leash whenever he would go out. Yeah, he was one of those kids.
Oh,
However,
yeah, leash
even the
kid.
leash could not contain his chaotic nature because somehow, in one day, Brody set off a car alarm, an elevator alarm,
No.
and an airport alarm.
No!
If you haven't
See,
figured it out
okay,
yet,
all
let me
right. I haven't seen this in a long time. I actually forget like most of this video. I have actually had such a good opinion of Brody for a very long time now. I haven't heard of any issues in recent times, you know? To me, he always seemed like the best behaved brother of all. Being reminded of these stories is actually quite surprising to me. And when you set off a car alarm, elevator alarm, and fire alarm in one day, to me, that's not just a stupid accident. That's not just stupidity. You made a choice to cause chaos. That was a choice of chaos. And you know what? That undoes the last thing. Choosing chaos. That's a double X right there.
If you haven't figured it out yet, let me just spell it out for you. Brody was a menace to society.
Yup.
He's still a menace, but his wife keeps him in check.
Oh,
Most
that's
of the
why.
time. Now, all these stories were about Brody, but this isn't Brody's channel. Now it's time to talk about how I started a fire. But at least it was an accident, unlike Brody, who set stuff on fire
I don't
on
know,
purpose.
Bryson. I don't know. Listen, Bryson can make excuses for his own behavior right now if he wants, but don't think that I don't have the power to make a Bryson versus Brenner who is more evil video. Don't think I don't have that power and that knowledge, okay? So you watch yourself, okay?
Also, all Brody's stories happened when I was just an unborn soul vibing in the quantum abyss.
Oh, yeah.
I kinda miss it. Anyway, on to my grease fire story. At this point, I had finally been born, and I was about to start a
Good for
family
you.
recipe with my roommate Dallin. The chicken was defrosting and it was almost ready, so I put some oil in a pot and set the stove on low to heat up and be ready for the chicken. At least I thought I did, but I accidentally put the heat on maximum overdrive. Then I got distracted talking to Dallin and forgot all about the chicken.
Yes.
After a while, the room suddenly started filling with smoke. I wonder what that could be. We looked and saw a plume of smoke coming from the pot.
Oh, Bryson.
As I ran over to try and fix my horrible mistake, the smoke caught fire and blazed forth an eerie orange glow.
Fire. What could be worse? What could be worse than a fire with smoke? A fire where the smoke catches fire and becomes more fire with more smoke. I didn't know that was physically possible, but Bryson found a way. Bryson found a way to make fire worse.
I saw into heaven that moment, and the face of Is stared back at me. Then, for an excruciating couple seconds, I sat there frozen, wondering what to do. Have you heard the term fight or flight?
Yes.
Well, there's actually a third option.
Freeze.
And my brain chose freeze. Dallin saw that I was paralyzed and quickly jumped into action.
Goofy.
He grabbed a bowl and carefully covered the pot and extinguished the flame.
Wow.
I was so embarrassed that my big, strong roommate had to save me. I very gingerly helped get rid of the smoke by opening the windows. I cooled and cleaned the pot and very carefully finished the recipe.
So good and tasty?
I
not burnt?
also
It's good?
apologized profusely to Dallin, who insisted that it wasn't a big deal. I honestly can't properly explain how embarrassed and ashamed I was. I was just trying to be an adult and make a meal, and I almost burned my house down. But I learned a valuable lesson.
Don't
The lesson
try
is,
to cook.
have a roommate who's not afraid of fire. I will be more careful in the future, and hopefully next time I won't freeze. To end things off, I want to encourage you all to be careful and cautious when cooking, because you could literally die. Also, stay away from Brody or he will burn down your house.
Okay, so we do have Bryson's official recommendation to stay away. So we will add 1x to that. Bryson's word doesn't always mean a lot, but we will let it factor in this time.
Fortunately, fire won't be an issue for me because since my fire incident, I have mastered waterbending.
Oh, good for you.
And I've mastered firebending.
No.
Don't do this,
No.
Brody. Don't
No.
challenge me. It
Not
won't
the
end
battle. Not the battle. I don't know if we let the battle influence our scores. That almost feels a little bit unfair. Because this is one battle, and I could extrapolate like 10 different X's or check marks from this, and I think it would skew the score. So, we will consume this battle, and watch this battle, and give our thoughts, but I don't think it should factor into the final score. I just don't think that's necessarily fair. Also, these sound effects are pretty loud right now. Is this a lot for your ears? Shout out to the headphone users who are just getting blasted. Just getting blasted right now. All right, and then Brody puts out the fireball, and then, you know, Bryson's already got his super eyes. He can detect that, so he's gonna dodge it, throw up ice, whatever. And, you know, in the battle between fire and ice, it takes a lot of ice to defeat fire. You know what I mean? If both are eternal, the fire kind of wins, doesn't it? Or I guess if you have enough ice, it suffocates the fire. Sorry, I'm just talking. But I don't remember who wins this battle. I mean, it's Bryson's channel, so I'd imagine he's gonna make himself win. He literally gets to choose. Like, I bring in the money for the family. So I win every battle.
I'm sparing you, brother. I'm letting you go in the name of our past friendship.
Past friendship.
I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your
Brody.
permanent
Get him, Brody.
end.
Oh, unfair. Unbelievable.
Whatever, this game sucks anyway. You're just mad because you lost. Maybe, but at least my house isn't on fire.
I can't believe Bryson won in his own video that he decided the outcome of. The fact that Bryson did put that in the video and Brody didn't stop him shows a certain level of restraint and pacificity that I'm going to respect. So, pacifist route didn't end Bryson's life. I'm gonna give that some consideration. Okay, that was Brody. Now it's Brayden. I sure hope I'm spelling it right, but I don't know if Bryson's ever spelled it on a video before, so I think this is right. We will watch this, and then we will compare the scores.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, my brother has been bullying me a ton lately, but I've been studying his tactics, and I know how to get him back. Okay. I've set up a bucket above his door so that when he walks through, he'll get soaked. Ooh,
no, it's not Brody. The water won't defeat him.
What?
No.
Use my own spells against me.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and this is my older brother, Brayden. We're best friends now, but our relationship wasn't always like that. Brayden was a total bully, and I was the innocent victim for our whole lives.
That's not...
Shut up. Anyway,
you don't get to tell me to shut up.
Back off, it's my channel.
I don't care. I'm boss.
I'm bigger. I have more money. You better lawyer up. Anyway.
All right, so right out of the gate, Bryson was the one attacking Brayden there. Brayden was just defending himself, so I'm gonna leave that one at neutral. He doesn't get any point for that. That was fine. Actually, you know what? I'll give him a check mark. Self-defense. Check mark.
Anyway, today I wanted to regale you with some of the fantastical stories of our sibling rivalry and how that blossomed into a beautiful friendship.
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning. Brayden had a huge problem with me minding my own business. I would just be chilling in my room playing with Legos and he would come in and knock them down. It's kind of like a beaver when it sees water. Mean. They both think, well, someone's got to put a stop to this.
Yeah.
One time we were wrestling and we had stuffed pillows under our shirts for protection. Brayden saw this and thought,
oh, he's got a pillow under his shirt. He's immune to all attacks. So it doesn't matter how hard I hit him.
Then he kicked me into a stool. It dug into my unprotected back and knocked the wind out of me.
Ow. Okay, so we speed ran 2 points there real quick. Knocking over Legos for no reason. Now, okay, if Bryson was just a kid playing with Legos and then you knocked it over, that's evil. If Bryson was 24 setting up Legos in his room and then you knocked them over, then that's a little bit of a, it's a nudge in the right direction. I'm just kidding, that was mean. Huh?
I'm just laughing at the cat with the grills.
That's the riffraff cat. His main goal is to blow up, babe. You guys want to know what this cat's main goal is? Is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. Yeah, knocking over Legos for no reason, that is true evil. That's 2 X's, bro. That's 2 X's, because your bro's minding his own business. Their Legos are a very good, mentally stimulating fucking toy for to develop a kid's brain. So that was mean. Don't do that. Oh yeah, and then the kick to the into the chair. I'ma just let that one slide because I feel like if I count every little thing, he's gonna get 1,000,000 points. My friends, this is a very advanced scientific study we're doing, and I have the ability to do this same study with Bryson versus Brenner versus Brittany. I could do a part 2, but I will only do a part 2 if you have booped the like button on this video and left a comment telling me that you want to see that, okay? That's the only way I'm gonna do it. So if you want me to do a part 2, leave a like on this video. Now let's keep it going.
Okay, stop being so dramatic. You're fine. Look, I'm thinking there's no reason we can't keep this little incident between us.
Yeah.
Don't tell Mom, or I'll wring your neck. Okay, all good. See you later.
Okay,
Brayden himself has told me that he didn't discover empathy until one day when he threw a pine cone at Brody's back and made him bleed.
There you go. That feels bad.
Anyway.
He didn't apply empathy until several years later, though. Even now, his empathy is selective. Brayden loves pushing buttons. Growing up with him was a masterclass in making other people mad. And bothering me was easy. I just wanted peace, and Brayden knew exactly how to shatter that peace. For example, for several nights in a row, I would be in bed, Brayden would come in and say,
"You've had it far too good for far too long,"
and then beat me up.
All right, so this right here.
After I would say, "Why?" And he would say,
why?
"No reason. Unprovoked."
No
Anyways,
reason. Unprovoked.
We
If that doesn't say evil to you, I don't know what does. All right, Brayden, we're too early in the video for this. Okay, I'm gonna put this in quotations because this is literally what he said. No reason, unprovoked. Guys, I may have to triple X this. That deserves 3 X's, doesn't it? Brayden, you're off to a bad start, bro. Hope we need some redeeming qualities here.
One time, we were on a family cruise, and Mom wanted us all to take a picture together. At this point, Brayden's button-pushing and bothersome tendencies had infected all of us. It was like a virus. Brayden would bother me, and to blow off steam, I would bother Brenner. What a healthy brother dynamic. Hurt people, what can I say? Am I right? And further, Brayden was an expert at making it seem like it was my fault and playing innocent. So there we were, getting ready to take a picture, and Brody and Brayden decide this would be the perfect time to start grabbing my butt. Obviously, I get
that's
angry
a double
and start
evil.
pushing and trying to get them to stop.
That cancels each other out.
Mom hears the ruckus and, of course, assumes I'm just causing problems for no reason and says, "Bryson, stop!" So I tried to just deal with it and smile for the picture as my brothers laughed at me.
This
equalizes
equalizes
of that picture. I lost on all accounts. I look super ugly because I'm trying not to squirm because my butt is being grabbed. Mom was mad at me, and Brody and Brayden look great. They were experiencing the pure joy of a devious master plan coming together. They knew I had no options, so their smiles are genuine. Neither of them had ever, nor ever would again, smile that brightly for any family photos.
Okay, you know what? Call me crazy here. Brayden and Brody were bonding together. Yes, in an act of mutual evil, but they were bonding as brothers. So you know what? We're gonna call this one brotherly love and give Brayden 1 check mark right there. All right. You surprised me with that one, Brayden. Good job.
However, me and Brayden did have a team up on that same trip. I was in the shower and Brenner kept turning off the light to bug me. I kept warning him that I would spit water on him if he kept turning off the light, but that only strengthened his resolve to bother me. He would turn it off and then run away down the hall over
Ridiculous.
and over. Eventually,
Insane.
I asked Brayden to help me administer justice to Brenner, and he agreed. Brayden hid behind the door, Brenner came back and turned off the light, but before he could escape, Brayden grabbed him.
Do it now!
As I filled up my mouth with water to spray Brenner, I started laughing about how funny it was gonna be when I sprayed him. But the laughter caused me to accidentally inhale the water. It all went in my lungs and I started coughing violently. And something about that made my stomach go, "Oh yeah, he's coughing. Let's just do a full reset. Send all stomach contents back from once they came,
do a full reset, hard reset."
I threw up in the shower as my brothers watched. I should have just thrown up on Brenner. He would have never bothered me again. But alas. Here's another example.
Massive L for Bryson. That's honestly one of Bryson's, like, biggest L's. And I will say, wait a minute, because I was about to say that gives Bryson some negative points in the evil category, but what Brenner was doing to begin with, that is super evil and super annoying. So we'll say that cancels each other out. They're both evil.
Here's another example of Brayden's shenanigans infecting his fellow men. We were in high school at this point, and Brayden had taken a liking to flipping me off.
No.
However, eventually it just became an inside joke to us,
No.
and I would flip him off back. So we would do this all the time to each other as
No.
confused bystanders watched. It basically became our way of greeting each other. But
Aw.
one day, this harmless prank went quite wrong. We were getting food at a restaurant. I paid, and the lady gave me my receipt, and I went to give her a thumbs up. But the habit was so deeply
Bryson!
ingrained in me that I accidentally flipped her off. Luckily, her head was turned, and as she turned back in the nick of time, I switched my hands to a thumbs up. That was the real-life equivalent of using the wrong emote.
The wrong emote. You don't need to emote at this waitress, bro. Doing this, I think, it just like when the waitress turns around and you doing this, I think that's probably just as weird as the flip off, honestly, as the bird. You could have flipped the bird at that point, but no, it is good that you didn't flip the bird, because flipping the bird is bad, and you shouldn't flip the bird because flipping the bird's bad, okay?
Of using the wrong emote. I told Brayden about it, and we laughed and flipped each other off.
Aw.
Honestly, there aren't a ton of crazy
That is
stories of
also
Brayden bullying
brotherly
me.
love.
It was more of an evenly spread, slow burn that chipped away at my sanity for years.
Yeah.
For example, hitting me unprovoked to keep me on my toes, stealing my stuff and hiding it, kicking me off the Xbox, giving me a disconnected controller to make me...
Kicking you off the Xbox isn't evil at all. That's not an evil thing. I was gonna give him a brotherly love point, but I don't remember. Oh, this right here.
Brayden about it, and we laughed and flipped each other off.
Right, okay, yeah, we're gonna get one more brotherly love because this is nice, that's nice. But prepare for that to be immediately undone based on what Bryson says immediately after.
Hitting me unprovoked to keep me on my toes, stealing my stuff and hiding it, kicking me off the Xbox, giving me a disconnected controller to make me think I was playing a video game with him,
That's
pushing
not
me too hard
evil.
on the rope swing so I would hit a tree, splashing me in pool.
Listen, if you're the real gamer in the family and then your brother is like 4 and he would only hold you back when you're playing a game, give him the disconnected controller. Why not? I wouldn't call that evil. I wouldn't call that evil. If I had a little brother, I'd do the same thing. But if I had a son, I would want that son to learn how to play the game and develop skills. But if it was my little brother, I would not care. But for the general shenanigans in this segment, we will give Brayden 1X there because there's a lot of shenanigans going on and they can't go unpunished.
Pushing me too hard on the rope swing so I would hit a tree, splashing me in pools, and throwing the hot potato at me way too hard.
Not the hot
That kind of
potato!
stuff takes a toll when you're small. It was a vicious cycle of him purposefully
really
aggravating me too
sad.
much and me being too sensitive. And there's
That's
no rhyme
so
or
sad.
reason to his crimes either. It usually plays out like this. Ugh. What a brute. No matter. I know his tactics. He's
Death Note
trying to
music.
get a reaction out of me. Well, he's out of luck. I've gained total mastery over my emotions. That being said, I've got to find a way to get him back for this. Later tonight, I'll set a trap for him in his room. When he walks in, I'll be hiding in the closet with a water gun to soak him, and then I'll frame Brenner for it. It will be the
Good
perfect
luck.
crime.
Good
Laugh
luck.
while you can, Brayden, because tonight, your reign comes to an end.
Get him.
Prank him, John.
All this being said, I gotta throw in at least one good story
Knuckle
about Brayden,
sandwich.
because he truthfully is a great brother, and I love him very much. The year was 2017, and I was about to
good
turn
one.
16. The Nintendo Switch was releasing the next day,
Okay.
and I asked my parents if I could wake up early, wait in line at the store, and buy the Switch with their money for my birthday, since it would probably be out of stock everywhere by the time my birthday really did arrive.
Okay, I feel like we have a little bit to catch up on. There was the random punch that happened. However, Bryson was planning a big epic prank on him. I would say, I guess what we just saw cancels each other out. It cancels each other out. This is what we're looking at right now. We're looking pretty even right now. And Bryson's about to tell a good story about Brayden. So right now, this isn't actually looking too good for Brody, but we're gonna see.
No, and I went to bed disappointed. Then at 5 a.m., Brayden woke me up and told me that Mom and Dad only told me no to make it a surprise, and that we were going to the store to buy it now. It was a great brother experience, and I'll always have fond memories of waiting in line with Brayden and playing Zelda. And here I am 6 years later
wasn't
playing
a
the
good
new
story.
Zelda on that same release day Switch.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Is that a good Brayden story, or is that just Brayden not letting your parents lie? I think I remember having this same opinion when I first watched this video. If you had good memories playing the Switch and waiting in line, that's a good memory. So we'll just put it in. Good Twitch cinemones.
That being said, sometimes Brayden does half nice, half mean things.
Hey, leave him alone, punks.
I gotta beat him up.
Now, I don't claim to be the innocent victim in all these circumstances. I push Brayden's buttons too. As my mom taught us, it takes two for contention, and I will not be one. But
Valid,
with me and Brayden,
valid.
I would change it to, it takes two for contention, and we will both be one.
Objection!
Brayden avidly claims that I once threw a full can of Sprite at his head. I don't remember this at all, but admittedly, it's not fully
I
out of
believe
character
that.
for
I
me.
totally
and one
believe
time
it.
we were on a tandem kayak together, and I was purposefully rowing out of sync with him so that our paddles would point together.
Bryson!
Right, left,
No,
right, left.
Bryson!
Do it right.
I'm trying. Sometimes I forget my lefts and rights.
Just follow my lead. Left.
Bryson,
right.
you are so lucky this video is about your brothers and not you, because you would be racking up a lot of evil points. You would be getting a lot of your own evil points right now if I was keeping score for you and brother as well.
Left, right, left, right. You're doing it wrong on purpose.
Yep.
What are you gonna do about it? Tip me? We're on the same boat, idiot!
He'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it.
But I also do nice things for
That's
him,
even
like
score.
finding him a wife. Let me explain. One time, a bunch of
yeah?
families and friends in my neighborhood went on a big old camping/hiking trip. And I was eating lunch with our family friend, Kira. As we chatted and ate, I said to her, "You should date Brayden."
I don't think Brayden's really my type.
And I thought to myself, sure he isn't, honey. And 5 years later, I was the best man at their wedding. Called it. Brayden owes his marriage to me. As such, I will be naming the firstborn child.
No.
The baby's name will be Bryson 2. The sequel.
Bryson
Not
2!
happening.
Electric
It's happening,
Boogaloo!
guys. Here's another family love story. Brody brought home a girl named Jen to meet the family, so we decided to all play a board game together. It was a secret role game. We will call it Secret Bad Guy.
Secret bad guy.
Anyway, in the board game, the good guys are trying to figure out who the bad guys are and stop them to win. We got our secret roles, and I was the bad guy. I had to keep my identity secret and convince everyone that I was a good guy. The game went on, and it got to the point where if I was elected as chancellor, me and the bad guys would win. I had been purposefully playing in a way that had Brayden totally convinced that I was innocent. Mom was skeptical, but Brayden advocated for me and elected me as chancellor
So
because I
who's
earned
the
his trust.
imposter
The vote passed.
among us?
If Bryson is the bad guy, then we lose. Bryson, you're not the bad guy, right?
Brayden was so angry that I had deceived him that he literally grabbed me, threw me on the table, and strangled me as I left.
Yeah, and listen, as much as I don't mind Brayden getting his revenge, I will say this does score negatively for him because he couldn't take the L. He couldn't take the L. You fooled him. Can't take the L. That is not good, Brayden.
Threw me on the table and strangled me as I laughed. All while Jen watched in horror. What a great introduction to the family.
Aw, that's very
Somehow
nice.
she ignored that red flag and married Brody anyway. The warnings were there. She signed up for this, so that's on her. And I'm not married. Speaking of board games, I only remember playing Monopoly once. All I remember is someone getting angry, grabbing the metal airplane piece, and throwing it like a ninja star out of anger. It missed and stuck into the wall. Good
Stuck
thing,
into the
too,
wall!
It could have stabbed someone's eye out. I don't remember who threw it, but I know in my heart that it was Brayden. Anyway, as me and Brayden grew, we became best friends. Siblings are crazy like that. You spend your whole life fighting each other, and then one day you're both like,
he was my best friend all along.
Brayden has blossomed
that's
into
nice.
a great man, and I love him like a brother. Wait.
I am glad that you love him like a brother. There are a few other things that you should love him as. Brother is the one. Anyways, okay. It's time to tally up the results. This has been one of the fiercest competitions known to man. And so, we have a very important tally. Okay, Brody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 X's. And 1, 2, 3 checks. So what that means is he is positive 6 evil. Now, Brayden, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 X's. And 1, 2, 3, 4 checks. Oh my word. That puts his total to plus 4 evil. If my calculations are correct, and the number 6 is bigger than the number 4, that means Brody is more evil. This is very interesting because I have met the two of these men, and out of the two of them, I would say Brayden seemed more evil to me. But I think it is hard to account for Brody putting people's lives in danger with the fire. I think it's the fire element of it, no pun intended, element, that made it so severe. I think that Brody has likely had a redemption arc throughout his life. Now that he is married, maybe he has calmed down with the fire. Brayden, however, I met him pretty recently, so I don't know if he's had his redemption arc. So, hey, I am just analyzing the evidence we have been provided with. I had my preconceived notions, but this is a scientific study, and the scientific study says that Brody is the evil one. I couldn't believe it either. I'm very surprised. Now, do I do this with perhaps Bryson versus Brenner, or Brenner versus sister Brittany, I think her name is? That's up to you. If you really like this video and you boop the like button, if you don't boop the like button and leave a comment about this video, then I'm not gonna do the sequel, okay? But now, my friends, it's time for you to watch something else. Here's the whole playlist of times I looked at Haminations. Check out one of these videos. If you haven't seen every single one of them, check them out. Here is another video of mine that YouTube thinks you will like in particular. Here's an extra long animation video that I think you will really like. If you haven't seen this video, trust me, I think you'll really like it. Check it out, okay? Watch this one, okay? Here's Bryson's channel. Peace.